Good morning. What a beautiful morning it is here in Western Australia. We're just coming out of summer and heading into autumn. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's been a warm summer here. It's March 2023. What I'm showing you is my brook. And as you can see, my brook is very, very dry. And it's not just because of this summer. It's because, well, a whole array of things. One is they used to have cows here. And I think they had quite a few cows here over the years. And so they've got fences up around the brook. And one of the things we do when we fence areas off is that we fence it from the native wildlife as well. So see, there's one on the other side as well. And that goes all the way up through the brook to my dam. This actually leads down to my beautiful dam. And interesting, I had a man here yesterday who has been digging dams and water holes for over 30 years. And when he saw my dam, he said it was a good looking dam and absolutely gold mine to have this much water in my dam at this time of the year when we haven't had any rain at all. So I'm sort of thinking, if I can bring this brook back, and he came and had a look at this as well, and he said, yeah, the same thing, you know, dig some holes in there, plant the right vegetation, and you will bring this back. George and Charlie just love being here. It's really nice, soft ground. And I came down here with a girlfriend last week and we collected all these seeds, random, and we went through and I've got an app on my phone which tells you what they are. And this was a river she oak and native to this area. And see up the top here, we found all these seeds. So I took them down to the dam and just threw them all around the dam, not near the water up on the bank of it. But then if you have a look, like this would have been deep in water, and they would have been, because look, you know, that's right in front of me. That's this one is a she oak, and same as that. Or river oak. You can, isn't it interesting that they've got oak in it, you know? And again, look, there's a water, you know, definitely would be water. So I'm going to really watch this winter and, you know, try and plant as many tube stock. Tube is just, you know, it's honestly the size of a little, you know, glass tube. And they're cheap as, and they've actually scientifically proven that tube stock grow quicker and better because of their age, you know. So, and it's like anything, you know yourself, the older you get, the harder it is to change. Well, plants are no different to us. So, and this brook, so this is one side of it. It goes, I reckon it goes a good 100 metres down there. And then this side, I mean, and I'm no good with measurements at all. And then this side here goes down here. And do you know one of the biggest signs you can see down here is the bulrushes. The man yesterday said they're not called bulrushes, so if I'm miscalling them, please tell me. But I still think they're bulrushes, but hey, love being proven wrong. And I love people who know their stuff and then who tell me, you know, oh, look, it's this. And then you always know, don't you? So it's interesting that around what would have been the brook up this end is all clear. And I don't know if it is because of stock that they used to have on here. But this is a river gum. So, and isn't it interesting? She's fallen over, out of root completely, or out of ground, and still green, still growing. And look, she's full of seed too. And I mean, look at her. She is just so healthy. And look, she's on a, you know, not having a good day at all. So honestly, it is so amazing how nature works. It really, really is. I'm just fascinated. And you know, I've just been saying how blooming hot it's been here. And you know, look, like at the green here, it is crazy to think that, you know, this grass here is great from where? So, you know, how? I'm fascinated. So you just think it's only going to get greener and greener and greener the more I plant stuff. And what I'm going to do is you can actually see there's two different types of bulrushes here too. I'm not going to go in there because it's just a bit long and dry for my liking. And in the Australian bush in summer, if you see long grass like this, just leave it alone. But can you see that one, you know, and it's got a thicker reed there at the bottom, and then it's got a thicker seed at the top. So I don't know what that is, but you know what I'll do is as soon as the rains come, I will start clipping the top of them and letting the seed fall in here. And I'm definitely going to plant some, you know, trees on the bank of this to stop the water flow and to keep the water in here. Because one of the biggest things I'm learning is the longer that you can keep the water on your land or in your property, it then, you know, leaches in. And that's what you want. You want the water to go into your soil, into your plants, into your, you know, into your land, so it feeds everything underneath. And that's what I'm just going to try and do. I'm just going to try and rejuvenate the land. And I'm just going to start with what's already here, because I just think, you know, she's doing a fine job when we've had no water. So if I just in winter, or, you know, in the spring, autumn, and then in the winter encourage her to shine, why, you know, it's wet and perfect time for these plants to seed and grow and germinate and do what they've got to do here. I'd love to take you further down, but I'm just a bit worried about our lovely native snakes and things in the area. But honestly, it's probably more than 100 metres it goes down here, and it snakes. Oh look, we'll just go a little bit better. It can you see it snake around? Oh my gosh, like a blooming serpent. That is amazing. See, so I haven't actually come down here in winter, because I only got my new little electric car at the end of winter, like right at the end of winter, like September, October. So I just, and I didn't know it enough to come, in these parts, but I wonder if this was full of water. And again, here we go, more bulrushes, more she oak, and I'm pretty sure that, oh look, paper bark. That is such a beautiful tree. Like, it reminds me of my childhood, because on our farm in Badgingarra, we had a lot of paper barks. We had a lot of water, actually, now to think about it. I never realised just how much water we had in Badgingarra. But we had a lot of paper barks there. Now, you think if this is this much water, there would have been a lot more of those here. So I need to get the seeds off these, and I need to be planting these, because this is one tree that can sit in water its whole life. It loves them. When we were kids, we would pull off the bark and write on it, make cubbies, bedding. It was because when we were kids, it was the 70s, and, when we went and slept out, we just, sleeping bag on the ground in the paddock. That's how we slept out. And I tell you, I would never do it now. I'm way too, old and fat for that. But I tell you what, as a kid, oh my God, we just loved it. I'm seeing something else here that we noticed, and it has got lots of seeds. And this is a sort of reed as well. See this here? I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, Pam, it's dead. But look at all the seeds on it. So what I've been doing is I've been pulling these out and taking them, after I've spread some seed around where I've pulled it out, because again, when you pull it out, you end up with a little tunnel. So if you fill that with seed, and as tomorrow we're forecast rain, so you only need a little tiny bit of rain to help that seed along. And especially in this climate, you do not need much rain. This is one thing about our country, or our land here, is you don't need much water. But you need some. And you need to keep it here as long as possible. And that is my goal. Because can you imagine, like, you think about it, if all of these trees were flourishing and were enormous, and there was lots and lots of them, and then lots and lots of bulrushes, because the bulrushes and the plants and the shrubs are the things that keep the moisture in, or as well as the trees. Like I say to everyone, the trees are like the mummy and the daddy, and then the bushes and the shrubs and the plants are like the children. And you need both of them. Both of them are just so important. And they're like a plug. Like the bushes and the shrubs are like little plugs. So if it does rain, what happens is they keep the water in, because they're drinking it through their leaves and their stems and their flowers. And, nature is just an absolute party of creatures. And then that's another thing. Can you imagine if there is water here? Then there will be turtles, fish, some sort of crustaceans, and the crustaceans are the things that ibises eat. And we have a native ibis in Australia, or Western Australia, And I noticed, with their big long beaks, they irrigate the soil. So they dig with their beaks and they pull out, things out of the earth. And then when it rains, the rain can go deep into the soil. So they have a massive part in doing this. And of course, if I fill this with food for them, then they will come down and do that for me. So they will help keep the water here. And then they will also poo and do all those things, which other animals are attracted to that. Now, you'll see why my creek or my brook is called, whatever it's called, is so dry. Because look at this. This is the paddock it's connected to. That it's still my land over this fence, right up to that corner up there. And then down that fence line. Whoops, sorry, I went a bit fast, didn't I? But look how barren it is. But also, sorry, I've got to stop saying but, don't I? There is bulrushes in the paddock. So, again, I am just going to encourage more growth. That's all. But you can see why there's no water here, because there's no trees. And then, as much as my neighbours are lovely people, they've planted maple trees. And I'm sorry, what native animal eats maple trees? They've got nothing to do with us, really. And they've planted trees with no shrubs, no nothing, Can you hear all the little birds? Now, that is what lives in our native trees. And look at this tree. This is the tree that's fallen over, looking really sad, but full of wildlife. And there's bees. So we've got bees, and then we've got these little tiny, tiny birds. I'm shocking with the names of birds. I am going to get so much better, I promise. But even George and Charlie are loving this tree. And look at the shade. And look, interesting, more bulrushes. And all around that trunk. So this old girl, right, not only is she keeping herself alive, she's keeping everything around it alive. And she's feeding nature as well. Like, why wouldn't you plant natives? Like, it just doesn't make sense that we don't do it. And I'm not saying you can't plant maples. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I would, personally, if that was my paddock, I would have planted more natives. And look at that. He's got a ring of WA Christmas trees there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that interesting? They're in a ring. I never noticed that before. Can you see? There's 1. I'm not very good at this, am I? I'm not going to do it. No. There's 4. That's crazy. I bet he doesn't even know. The Aboriginals believe that when you die, your spirit goes into the tree. And if you want to, I could be getting this story wrong, so I'm so sorry if I am, but I do know that they call them spirit trees and that they believe the spirit is in the tree. And if you want to communicate with that spirit, you go down to the tree and you think of the person and they'll send some sort of message or native message. And isn't that just amazing, you know, to know that you are always connected to your ancestors and they can always communicate with you? I just think that's lovely. And they're beautiful. They flower this beautiful. This is why we call them the WA Christmas tree, is because they flower just before Christmas, and it's this fire orange, or and it's you can just see it from miles away, and it's just the most beautiful flower. And now that I know the story, I have a couple on my property right beside my house, and I had a famous gardener come out. I didn't know she was a famous gardener. I just wanted someone with a lot of knowledge come out. And she told me, and then she said that one of my trees would be at least 300 years old. Isn't that amazing? And this is what we're playing with. My trees down in this brook, some of these are 100 and 200 and 300 years old, because you get thicker trees as you go in. So, if I'm sort of thinking maybe I can then be a part of, in 300 years, someone's going to be looking at what I planted and I put down, and all from a little tiny tube stock, or from a seed, which is just like, isn't that amazing to think that you had a part in reconstructing, our planet, our earth, our home, our mother, my dogs are knackered because we never come down here, and they have been running around these very hot paddocks, so I might take them for a nice swim at the dam. Thanks for joining me. And the reason I am doing all of this is because I just want to document what it looked like before I did anything. And I really want to show myself, every nook and cranny of it. So then when I'm looking back, and especially when you have days when you just think, oh my gosh, I'm not doing anything, I haven't made any difference at all, I'm just, feeling yuck. And then you look back at these and you see just how dry and barren and interfered it was. And then you think, hang on, I brought it back. I did that. So, well done, me. And every little bit matters. Please, people, don't compare yourself to me. If you live on a balcony, who cares? Go and grow something and give it love. Just prove to yourself that you can grow one plant. It doesn't matter. And you know what? You be bloomin' proud of yourself for that one plant, because I can tell you now, every little bit that you do matters and is felt, and it has energy at the end of the day. Every little thing you do, and if you can do more positive for it, more things that make you feel good, well, that's what goes out into the field, and then everyone else can pick up on that beautiful, good energy that you started. I mean, isn't it interesting? Since I've been here, how many little birds have come out? So, do you not think we must have good energy? And my little Georgie, he loves chasing birds. He chases the shadows. I know he's a little cray, but you see his little tail going. His little tail goes like a little propeller. Honestly, it is just his favourite, and I don't think he can believe his luck that he's down here, and so are his little favourite little birdies. And you can't see his little tail going. There you go. But honestly, he just loves this. And this is why he's a whippet, is because he just runs and plays chasey for so long with these little birds. And I'm sure they know Georgie, you know. But, as I was saying, every little bit matters. Every little thing that you do, like these little tiny birds. Look how tiny. I've got to find one. They are the tiniest little thing. And I can tell you what, they're relevant. I mean, listen to how beautiful they are. Always happy. I think that's, what? Just be happy. Sing. Maybe if you sing, then you'll be happy. Have a beautiful day. And thank you for being a part of this. I believe that, the more we watch this and the more we do stuff and the more we talk about this, I think that's changing too, is that we're starting to see, hang on, every little bit matters. What can I do? Can I start a seed? Can I talk with someone? Can I go and visit a property and maybe help them out somewhere, Can I just do something to help this beautiful world come back? And as I said, don't think that, you can't do much of where you are, You can grow a plant in an apartment, in your bedroom. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Good luck. Good luck. Enjoy our beautiful world, because gosh, it is a wonderful, wonderful world.